Oh, see?
All right. Fuck you mean? See, all right, man. Y'all ready?
Hey,
Yeah.
yep, yeah.
Real Rap Coalition podcast. We're back. This is the second day in a row we recorded some shit, so it's the biggest recording streak we've been on in like a
A
year.
long time.
You know, I am your current host, the host with the most, the main character. Who the fuck else is in the building?
F-Dub, you already know what it is.
Tell him it's good to be back, bro.
I would say that, but we haven't recorded in a minute, so
Hey, Puos,
Yeah.
you just heard that beep again too?
Oh shit, I did, but when you heard that shit so many
Yeah,
times, like
it
you
playing
just
in
forget
the
about it.
background.
Yeah,
Fireworks,
yeah.
buy some batteries, bro. Come on, man.
How you even sleep like that?
eventually I'll do that.
He
Eventually.
get he's like just like you said, bro. He's like ear blind to it. Like,
Yeah, I used to have that shit too, though. So I get it.
so who is you, man?
Who was who, nigga? Lordy
You.
Lord.
Yeah,
I just told you.
yeah. That's a fact, man. Not involved in any of the Shannon Sharpery, man.
Oh,
But
wow.
what did we go see, y'all?
So
Oh,
we went to go see Ryan Coogler's latest offering to the cinema world, Sinners, starring Michael B. Jordan and a bunch of other people whose names I can't remember right now. But yeah.
you seen
Uh,
it a week ago too, so
I was about to say
yeah.
Puol saw it like 3 or 4 days before everybody else, and I think Fireworks saw it most recently. I think he saw it like the
Yeah,
day after me.
that Saturday that it came out, or it came out Friday, right? And then I went to go see it Saturday.
Yeah, so we're a bit late, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers have been saying they had shit to do or whatever. But this is the type of movie that regardless of, the timestamp or whatever on it, it needs to be discussed, man. So a real quick, first off, before anything, like, comment, subscribe if you ain't already. Uh Spoiler alert will be in effect. If you are not familiar with the channel, we go heavily into detail about pretty much any movie that we watch, and we'll be talking about our the coldest scenes, the characters, etc. So if you ain't seen it, we would suggest you do so. Or if you want to watch this and it makes you want to go watch it, salute to y'all. But this movie is about a set of twins, the Smokestack twins, played by Michael B. Jordan, as both twins. Uh, there is a young man called Preacher Boy. His daddy is a preacher and shit,
It's a boy.
and he plays blues music and shit. So his big cousins are back in town from Chicago and shit, and they enlist his help because they want to set up their own juke joint. So they go through, make all the arrangements for everything, and they throw the grand opening night of this juke joint in an old sawmill that they bought. And during this night, everybody's having fun. There's a whole lot of shit going on. Whereas on the outskirts, you have another plot developing involving a mysterious stranger who shows up at the house of a couple, and he turns out to not be what he seems to be. And, over the course of the night, a lot of insane shit happens. I'm trying to be as spoiler free as I can for this synopsis. And it's about seeing how people will make it through the night. So, with
Good
that being
synopsis,
said,
brother.
who wants to start where?
I'll quickly start and uh say some shit that you might have missed real quick, KTL. So just to clarify, the two twins, Smoke and Stack, they were in Chicago working for Capone, if I'm not mistaken, right? I think they
Mhm.
mentioned that early in the movie, right? So they were
Oh,
they were
also, I'm sorry, Fireworks. The movie
no
takes place in Mississippi. That's an important part.
yeah, you tell them the year, KTL.
Fuck, I don't even remember the year, bro. 1960.
Probably
66.
Yeah, I'm about to say it was 60 something.
1966.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the setting is actually pretty interesting. So and not this is not meant to be a joke or anything like that, right? But it definitely takes place when a little bit of slavery was still around. You definitely see niggas picking cotton for real to help their families and whatnot.
Well,
That was
he had to
slavery.
preface. He had to preface that this isn't a joke just because he was finna say the word slavery and shit. He knew.
That shit
He knew
was
he was finna
slavery.
say some crazy shit.
I
No,
don't
Well,
I
think
don't.
that shit was
No,
slavery.
it
not
was
not necessarily slavery, but niggas
that
was definitely picking
specific shit.
cotton.
Wasn't. Yeah, it was. It
Niggas was
wasn't
stealing the
necessarily
fish and
slavery, but
all
it was
that.
like it was segregation, and
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was. You know what I'm saying?
that's a better term
Motherfuckers
to
was
use.
working on plantations, bro.
Yeah, they had
Yeah,
free will. Like it wasn't no big ass white man with a horse over none of them niggas. So it was all
Why
good.
they gotta have a horse, bro?
Cause usually when them white niggas be on the horses, they got the whip. They jump off the horse and hit your ass with that bitch.
Oh yeah, and then Django flipped the script on that motherfucker in the movie and shit.
Yeah,
yeah.
whole shit changed up.
The twins were trying to get it how they live, so that's kind of explains why they were out in Chicago and working for Capone and whatnot. It does later get revealed that they definitely, pause if
They
necessary. They
hold
definitely
some
hit
shit.
big. They definitely hit big, and
Oh,
yeah, they definitely got they definitely got it. I'll say that. So
That it wasn't even bad, but like you also just said and got it, you know. I don't know. So all right, so my first question, kind of unrelated. Did y'all have an opinion on whether y'all thought Smoke or Stack was colder? I
Smoke
kind of
mm,
was
fuck with
definitely colder,
I kind
but
of fuck with Stack more. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Dak was more of like a charismatic nigga, but Smoke
He
was
was
just
cool.
like
He was
the
like
I'm a
clean. Smoke was like
Smoke
on
would just I'm
action.
gonna get on your ass type nigga.
Yeah. What do you think, Dub?
I honestly thought they were equally cold. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I don't think one was towards the end, fucking Smoke probably had the edge
Hmm.
over Stack, pause if necessary, right? But yeah, no, I thought they were
That ain't
equally cold,
pause.
man.
They brothers.
Yeah,
Man,
it
I
was equally cold. You feel me? Like, yeah, they both, did the thing. They both definitely
I
Michael B.
do
Jordan
think,
definitely played
yeah,
them
I'm about to say, I remember
to the same degree.
Me and Slim have talked about it in this server before, where like we seen the movie where Tom Hardy played a set of twins, and they was like some British gangsters and shit, and I think that that was pretty dope. I also have to give credit here, Michael B. Jordan playing two
yeah.
roles and shit. That's pretty clean. Some people theorize that originally Jonathan Majors might have been supposed to be in this movie, so maybe they wouldn't have been twins. Maybe they would have just been brothers or some shit.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? But like that's not fully confirmed. But
That's
given how much Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors be in the same shit, I think there's a decent possibility. It probably would have
what
been.
Yeah.
my fault, KTL. What really? Like I didn't know besides Creed, right? I didn't know they did other films together.
I mean, them niggas just been around each other a lot lately over the last
Like
few
that,
years.
they partners and shit. You know what I'm
Yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah. I know they have a friendship. I just didn't know that they were involved in other projects together. You feel me? Because like I said, my true first introduction to Jonathan Majors was Creed 3. Believe it or not, you feel me? So other than that, I didn't know much about him. You feel me? So
Ain't gonna lie,
But
man. This nigga went crazy to me. Like I literally forgot this was the same nigga playing the same nigga. I mean, playing two different characters. He
you could tell by
definitely.
looking at him, bro.
I mean, they supposed to be twins. Like he did that. He did a fucking great job, bro. Like that nigga snapped. Like good. I think this might have been some of the best shit I ever seen as far as one person playing two different characters. Like the clumps and all that bullshit is the comedy, so I don't give a fuck of
Yeah,
that.
hold on. How did you feel about what's his name playing Split?
Never seen it.
oh
Cut it off in the
James
fucking
first 5 minutes.
James McAvoy. Oh no,
Oh, hold on.
he had some
Yeah,
crazy
I don't know
range in
what you're
Split,
talking
bro.
about, Paul. You definitely seen that shit with the
I have
beat.
not seen it.
I thought y'all covered that on the
I
podcast.
know specifically that Pujols had an argument with Slim about like whether he'd be that shit would be able to happen to him. He was like,
Yeah,
no, he was with
and I
some
cut it
hoes
off
getting
after
caught
that.
in the car and shit.
Literally cut it off after that scene because it was stupid. but I
Damn,
will
you
watch it. And also, I almost forgot the GOAT Mia Goth played fucking old lady Pearl in Maxine at the same time. Oh my
gross.
god, that was incredible. Mia Goth, you really are a superstar.
I ain't never like watched Pearl or
Yeah, that's
Maxine.
cool. It ain't for you, brother. Watch fucking The Big Lebowski,
Big
bro.
Lebowski, yeah.
Yeah, that's for
Uh,
you.
yeah. So yeah, I think that was a really cold performance. You know, like just encompassing the performance as a whole. I think that he was and for obvious reasons. You know, what I'm saying the twins like they start out to an extent interchangeable. They have different personality traits and whatnot, but like the difference becomes more apparent in the acting later on for obvious reasons. Um, what did y'all think? You know, I Preacher Boy did all right. I think, you know what I'm saying? He played his role pretty
Nah,
well.
he snapped.
I think he played his role pretty well.
Nigga went crazy.
My fault, Kitio, to cut you off. To my knowledge, right, or at least what I was told, right. This was I
Yep,
forgot the actor's name, but this was his first major role.
yep.
And
His
if it was, in my opinion, he murdered that role for real, for real. He did his
I don't
motherfucking thing
I don't even think it
in
was
this
his
one.
first major role. I think it was his first role ever, bro.
Okay, well, regardless, he murdered this shit in my
Yeah,
opinion,
that
bro. Like
nigga went crazy.
like
Yeah, I think he did well.
from the accents to I'm assuming he had to learn how to play that instrument
Yeah,
or whatnot, right? From the instrument playing, from the singing, all that. Yeah, no, he snapped, bro. He snapped, and I
that
think he
nigga
definitely
went crazy.
I definitely do think he Hollywood's definitely gonna be knocking on his doors for roles down the line, for real, for real. So yeah, I think that uh what's his name, Ryan Coogler, definitely found a diamond in the rough. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Hey,
shout out to him, man.
and speaking of that, you know what I'm saying? Like, we'll come back to the cast here in a minute. But there have been a lot of talk lately about essentially this movie being Ryan Coogler betting on himself. You know what I'm saying? The studio didn't want to back that shit, so they gave him some type of deal where, like, basically he had to put like some of his own money into some shit like this. And like, if it flopped, he was finna just have to like pay all that money back to the studio and shit. But now, you know, it's so successful that like down the line he had negotiated a deal where like he, you know, gets the rights to the movie after a certain number of years and shit. And motherfuckers was out there trying to, you know, make boogeyman posts and shit like, oh, this is bad for the industry and shit. Hell no, man. Y'all hating because a motherfucker bet on theyself and then they won. If that shit would have flopped, y'all wouldn't have said shit about nothing. Y'all would have been out there
Mhm.
like, oh yeah, like, you know, this is what happens. You try to, you know, he pushed for years for this project and it ruined him. Like, nah, get y'all bitch ass hating ass out of here, man. So
Shout out Ryan Coogler, because if I don't know how true that is, but if it is true, the dude definitely came out on top on with this movie, for real, for real. Um, definitely the definition of the underdog winning. Because the movie's, you know, very successful right now, and it's still doing numbers to the, you know, at the time of this recording. So like, yeah, man, this was definitely one of his passion projects for sure, and you know, salute to him, man.
I
Deserves all
don't
the success he's
know.
getting.
Now I don't know the dude name, but the main antagonist of the movie and shit,
Nigga
he
snap
that motherfucker was wigging fools.
all throughout that bitch.
Like he, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, bro. You know, it starts out where like it's very clearly is something wrong with this dude. And once again, man, salute to, you know, the representation in this movie. The Native Americans were right, bro. They was right in the start and shit. And motherfuckers wanted to just be piece of shit racists and shit. You know what I'm saying? And now look what happened to you. Your ass got a bunch of chunks bit out your neck.
And
You
the
know?
12th Empire, bro. Ain't nothing wrong
Uh,
with that.
Oh,
his
that
name,
shit.
KTL, his name is Jack O'Connell, and
Shout out to he
to
definitely Irish as fuck.
my knowledge, this like I'd never seen him in other previous works, so like this was my introduction to him. But he's
So
from
this is
the
just a
UK.
bunch of
He's from the
rookie
UK.
ass actors and shit. Not rookie, but like unknown actors just like turning in the performance of their life and shit, huh?
I wouldn't
All
say
right,
somebody.
Brian.
I wouldn't say that they were all rookie actors and whatnot because he has Soul Williams in this movie. You feel me? That he's definitely known. He had
Who is that?
Omar.
That was the old man.
He was who was Soul Williams? Hold on,
It
I
had to be
forgot.
the old man, nigga
Yeah,
named
yeah.
Soul.
Because I know I seen that old man in some other shit.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go with that. And uh, Michael B. Jordan, of course, a well-known actor. He had Omar Benson Miller in there, who,
That's the
if you're not,
well,
that's the big fat black dude that was like, he got once he
nah,
got possessed, he started speaking all proper when he tried to approach the entrance of the saloon and shit like that. He was
yeah, that's that
yeah,
nigga.
he was also in 8 Mile, of course. So yeah,
Nigga
couple couple
holding the
well-known
bitch.
faces. Couple well-known faces in this movie.
My bad. What were y'all saying? I missed the
The
ending of that last part.
couple well known faces in this movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And then other than that, I mean, bro, like I don't know. I just feel like it'd be a waste of time to keep talking about. But like, bro, the bitches that they was fucking with, they was all fire and shit. From Perline to fucking
Yeah.
what was the voodoo lady name?
You said she was fun. What you mean, her acting ability, or she looked good to you?
Like which one?
The voodoo lady.
I mean, I think she looked all right, but her acting was crazy.
Yeah, her acting was insane.
Who else? That hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'll be this guy, boy. That bitch was wigging, and you know exactly what I'm talking about, boy.
I
That
do.
bitch pulled up on Buddy like that and started whispering his ear in a different language and shit. I would have folded, boy. I ain't gonna
Oh
lie to
yeah,
you.
it's
Yeah,
what she
she
said.
went crazy.
It's what she was it's like whispering in his ear.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like
She
that
was
whole
like,
went in another language, talking about your body never forgot me. That bitch had two hands full of neck and some other shit. I'm like, boy, I would have folded me.
and then proceeded to get railed. Yo, that
Shout
shit
out
was
that hoe,
crazy.
man. But
That
yeah,
shit
like
was
she was
crazy.
she was fired throughout the movie though too. Like
Yeah, she
she
went
was
crazy.
like the voice, she was the logical voice of reason and plot exposition throughout. You know what I'm saying? Even like in the situation they found themselves in, she was like, if some shit happened to me, I need you to get rid of me before I turn into some shit. You know what I'm saying? And she meant that shit. She stood on it. Like she was fire, bro.
Yeah,
And then the other bitch, the little white bitch, that hoe was fire too. I ain't gonna lie, that bitch was fine.
she was
Hey,
fire,
hey,
and she looked good, and she was acting good too.
shout out Haley Steinfeld, right? That's the actress. Man, I'm not gonna cap to you. If I ever get the chance, I'm putting a kid in her, for real, for real. I'm not
Damn.
gonna cap.
But you
Not,
was saying what you was saying earlier about how you wasn't gonna fuck up your life with this other shit.
hey
But
man, hey man.
movie act was different, huh?
She not.
Come
I'm
on,
not
She
trying to
bro.
on that
speak about
same
that.
shit that bitch was Shannon Sharp on. I
She,
heard about her.
She gonna get fireworks with that shit.
Allegedly, before they try to sue a
absolutely
nigga
not.
and get nothing.
Absolutely not.
Hey, she gonna be like, hey Navy, y'all owe me some money. Like,
Absolutely not, nigga.
but
Never get caught.
hey Puos, that bitch like caught.
Caught up.
Oh,
I said caught up.
That
Caught up.
Puos, he said, I'm never getting caught. Like that boy,
Nigga, never
what he
getting
doing
caught
to
up.
get
he's getting
caught?
Caught
away
up.
with it.
Caught up, nigga. I said caught up.
I hear you, Shannon. There go that beep. That's the lie
This nigga's
detector beep.
Mm-hmm.
crazy. This nigga's
Yeah,
crazy.
But Puos, that bitch, like whenever that shit happened, and that bitch really stood up, and like after they had like popped her ass or whatever, that bitch said, "We gonna kill all of y'all." Boy, that shit gave me like a visceral feel. I was kind of pissed. I was like, "Oh, bitch, there's no way you talking crazy like this, and you just killed my mans and shit." That bitch was
I
wigging, man.
don't know. Yeah, she went like the whole movie. Like she went out there with them white vampires and shit. Like
And she
I
said that
don't know.
wild, nasty ass shit in the middle of a fucking train station. Bitch tripping.
Oh yeah, she did.
That
That
bitch,
nigga wasn't trying to hear that shit
they
though.
was saying coos, bro. Like they was talking about pussy saying coos and shit. That
Hey,
shit funny, bitch.
uh, are we going in any specific order? Because I
Not
do
at
want to
all,
talk
bro. I'm
about.
I
talking
don't
about the
think so.
cast right now.
All right, for sure, for sure. So I want to talk about my favorite scene in the movie, bro. Like this shit had me like this shit was like a cinematic masterpiece in my opinion. And that was the when Preacher Boy it was his turn to perform at the saloon or whatever, right? And fucking the whole generations of like music like just started like popping out and shit. That scene was so fucking
Yeah,
cold.
that
That
shit was fire.
bro, in my opinion, easily the best scene in the movie. Like that was the way it was filmed from all different types of angles, from like every you know what I mean, every generation just popping up and shit like that. That was like I wasn't obviously when I watched the movie I was sober, so like but that shit made me feel like I was on a trip for real, for real.
I was
That
about
was
to
so
say,
fucking cold.
bro, the coldest scene to me was like whenever he was playing, like it had all the shit from all the different eras, bro. Like that is like some of the coldest artistic shit I've ever seen, bro. Like, you know, all the different cultures and they different ways of dancing and, you know, cultural heritage and celebration and shit. All the way up, you know what I'm saying? Like you got Buddy playing the blues guitar and shit. Then it goes to a DJ spinning records and shit. You got, you know, some like bitches doing the can and you got some hoes twerking in that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that is such a cold artistic vision, bro,
Not
that I've
only
never
that,
seen before.
like not only that, right? But like how like all the sounds just blended in together. It wasn't like offbeat or anything like that. It was yeah, no, like shout out Ryan Coogler, man. Like he put
That's
that
why
scene like well
I
together very well.
just because of that scene, I forgave a lot of bullshit. Like that's clearly shit that like you wouldn't do. So that seemed like if it wasn't for that shit, I'd be like, yeah, this shit ass. But it really like made me forgive some of the stupid shit that happened towards the end. And I was like, okay, I'll just let it go because I guess you gotta have this has to happen for it to be a vampire movie or some shit like that.
What do
So
you mean? What are you talking about specifically? You talking about
her
like how it was basically like his music raised the dead? You ain't like that shit?
I did like it. But
Okay.
if that's the case, if they just after this nigga, then we're good. Let's just stay in here all night. They want him. The
Yeah.
Asian bitch just cracked and was like, you know, come in this
Oh,
bitch.
that
Like
whole
what's
that bitch is fucking
nobody would do that.
like that bitch would have met her fucking husband real quick fucking with me, boy. I
Yeah.
promise you. You
And niggas
stupid
just was
bitch.
cool with it though. Niggas just was like, fuck, we
Yeah,
finna
and
fight
they
these niggas.
just started like getting ready to scrap. Boy, I'm throwing that bitch out the door first
Yeah, you
here.
can go out here with your husband, bro. Go out there with that
Yeah.
nigga, bro. We like, all right, get up out
That's
of
what I was talking about, bro. There's a lot of fucking dumbasses in this movie, man.
yeah, bro. That
He's
shit was
probably the
stupid
biggest
as
one,
fuck,
bro. Like
bro.
all we gotta do is sit in here. Like I liked how they added that touch where like they really vampires can't go inside nowhere without
Yeah.
being invited in that hole.
And
And
that
but
was
I'm like, bro,
it.
that's free. I'm safe. I'm free, bro. Like
That nigga told her, shit, we just gonna go get your daughter. But nobody went over there, bro. Nobody left. Nigga,
nobody
they
went
all here.
nowhere, bro. And like by that point, bro, it's probably at least 2, 3 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? You gotta wait a couple hours, then you good.
Yeah, they
Like
not even there for you either. They just want this preacher boy nigga, bro. Like, clearly, like that was really it. Kind of like I let it go though. I was like, this shit is stupid, but I'm gonna let it go because everything else was so good before you got there. So I'm gonna let it go. You can get a fuck up, but that shit was ass.
somebody else talk about something, man. I'm typing a message.
Um hold on, what else? What else? Uh
I think you know
It's a lot of shit
we
though,
talked
bro.
about
Like
that. We talked about like how cold that scene was, where like the music and shit. But it was also cold as fuck when he had all of them folks outside in a synchronized river dance and shit, singing Irish
fire.
jigs out that
That
hole.
shit was fire, bro.
And like they was all out there getting after it, bro. Like how synchronized that practice had to be to make that shit happen.
Even
That
before that shit, when three of them white people pulled up and just was, man, we just want to get in. We just like music and all of
mhm.
that shit. And they just started playing that shit. That song was fire. all, all that
They
shit.
could sing, bro.
The
Like, and
movie
that
is
was
hard, bro.
crazy. Like, they like really knew how to sing, and that was kind of like shocking to me. because like, you know, being an actor doesn't always mean that you have these other talents and shit.
Yeah.
Another cold scene, in my opinion, was when Stack and Preacher what was his name? Preacher son?
Preacher
Preacher
boy.
Yeah.
boy.
Oh, Preacher Boy. Yeah, he when they were riding to town or whatever in that wagon or whatever, right? And he first discovered that, Preacher Boy can actually sing and shit like that. Boy, his face lit all the way up. He's like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
we about to make some breath for real,
Make
for real."
some money off this nigga.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was cold, bro. That shit was funny, man. It was funny, though. That was a dope scene. Fucking honestly, just the whole scenery of this movie was dope, for real. So
The clan shit at the end when he killed them niggas, that shit was dope too. Like
Hey, no,
yeah,
hold
yeah.
on, Puos. We gonna
Smoke
get
turned
to
into
that.
Rambo real quick.
Y'all want to know like what
it's
low
fake
key
as
the
hell, but
coldest? Y'all want to know what low key the coldest shit was to me though?
what?
Like that scene, right? So Cornbread come back and he, you know, got fucked off by the damn vampires and shit. You know, he keep trying to get in there. First off, I think it was funny as hell. Like they it was like, why don't you bring your big ass inside then? And he like that bitch was sitting there telling him, yeah, it ain't something right with you. He said, I'm out here because you use that stale ass grease. That bitch got pissed. She ain't care about him being a vampire no more. She said, I ain't never used no old grease, you fat bastard. Like that shit, bro. He was like, now just let me in, give me my money and whatever. And like she's looking at Smoke, she's like, don't do it. He reach in his pocket, go to, you know, give him that money. Buddy grab his arm, he finna just like bite him, and he just up and blicked that motherfucker mid-air while he was getting pulled
Passing a
through that
Oh,
bitch.
that
shit,
was
bro.
that was
Yeah,
cold.
that
That
shit
was
was
cold as fuck.
cold.
That shit is clean as a bitch, boy.
He wouldn't have got shit though, nigga. You let
That's
this
what
bitch
I'm
come here
saying.
and
I'm
bite
not
my
finna,
brother, nigga. You not getting nothing, nigga. Fuck
like,
you.
bro. And yeah, I'm about to say beyond like any of that shit, bro. Like, come on. I'm not. If I know there's some fucked up shit happening here, nah, walk your big ass inside if you pressing it. Like
Yeah, nigga got to get invited in, bro. We know you something now. Why do we niggas got to tell you to come here, nigga? Just you been walking in and out the whole night, bitch. Just come in.
they hold that motherfucker though. That other dude that like got cut by that
Oh
blade
yeah, they
earlier
hold
and
the shit
shit.
out that nigga,
They just threw him out the door and didn't even open the door, and he just got ate. Like
bro. And that shit. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like that's another plot hole. If that was like just that lick, I meant that not liquor, that beer, nigga. You could smell it, nigga. You know the difference
I
between a
don't even
blood
know how that
smell
shit looked like blood. Like how
it
the fuck
because it don't, bro. It's just a plot hole, my nigga.
that
Like
shit black liquid, bro.
just a plot hole, bro.
But
That's
I
it.
don't I don't know. Like I don't think it's a plot hole to me. Like I
It
think it's
is.
just people. I
It's
think they're
just
just
something to
idiots. Like
nah.
I think that it would have been a
There's no
plot
way
hole
that
if I
black
ever thought
lady
they was smart, bro. They wasn't
could
smart.
see everybody else other than that black lady falling for some shit like that. That black lady ain't falling for no dumb shit. She ain't
Well,
falling for
she
no dumb
wasn't
shit the
over there,
whole
bro.
movie.
She was trying to eat cloves of garlic, and Pearline ain't want to eat that hoe. So
Oh,
once
fine.
again, buddy up blick on him on that bitch. He was like,
Perlene,
hey,
the dark skinned lady.
hell yeah, she
The
was
one
Oh,
that was
pretty
she
as
married.
was
hell.
clean as
Yeah,
fuck, boy. I fuck with
Oh,
that
the,
hoe.
pretty as a bitch.
the one that was
Yeah,
committed adultery with a preacher's son.
I don't give
Fine
a
as
fuck
hell.
about none of that.
That shit was
Yeah,
funny as hell.
she showed up to commit adultery. That bitch.
Facts.
Bitch,
No,
you
man.
not going to that hole if you don't think that you ain't you telling a motherfucker about your husband. You ain't bring your husband. We know what you
That
want.
hey, that line was mad smooth. He's like, "Oh, you married?" And then she was like, "Yeah." And then he was like, "Happily." You feel me?
Yeah,
And
that
then there you
was
go, there
clean.
you go, man. She
Yeah,
fell for the bait. You feel me? And that was that. You feel me?
that
Yeah.
bitch said something about like you a nice young man, whatever. He was like I ain't that young. I ain't that nice all the time neither. Like, but
And
yeah,
he was on go though. He was like when he took her to that room to the side. You feel me? He was like,
that bitch
she
said
was
she
like,
was
"Oh,
dirty. He said I don't give a fuck about
Yeah,
none of
uh,
that.
he
I need."
Trying
He's
to
tripping.
like,
fuck you up.
I need to taste you. I'm like,
Yeah,
yo,
I wasn't feeling that.
I don't really give a fuck about none of that shit. Like I think that that's
I
just
do.
how folks got down, bro. Like
bro,
like
bro.
out there, you know what I'm
Yeah, that's
saying? In
cool. I
Mississippi,
mean,
they dirty
I
as
ain't
hell.
judging him. He can do his thing. I'm not doing that shit though. Bitch, you
I
better clean
probably
up.
would have. I
That's
probably
cool.
wouldn't have gave no
Do your
fuck.
thing.
I
Bitch done
probably
danced up a whole storm and been sweating all night. I'm cool, nigga.
I'm gonna
Bitch,
keep
go
it a
sleep.
buck, bro. It's just sweat. This bitch gonna sweat more before I'm done with her too.
That's cool. My though.
Uh,
no,
so
that shit was crazy for real. For that, there was another scene I wanted to highlight too. I think it was like at the beginning of at the beginning of the film when they made that deal with the white dude. The
Yeah,
I
that
yeah,
saw
was
it
dope
as like
too.
I saw that was dope, but I
he
like
said, "You boys act like y'all are playing around." He said, "Ain't no boys here, just grown ass
Boy,
men,
nigga pulled
grown
the
ass
grown ass
bullet
bullets."
out on him.
bullets. That shit was crazy for real, bro. That
Bro, I
fucking
think what was crow to me is I can't even say this shit is no horror movie. Like I don't know what it is, but before anything remotely scary happened, like I was fucking with the movie like just a regular movie. Like them niggas, he
Yeah,
going into town and shit and impressing niggas like, oh yeah,
bro.
smoke
There was
back.
a lot of plot exposition in this movie. Like they did a
Yeah,
lot of
bro.
setup for this whole before they ever got to vampire nothing, bro. You know,
Exactly, bro.
it's
That
like
shit
an
was
hour
it
worth of
was
movie.
hard before you even got to the vampire shit. Like it was
Hmm.
so cold of a movie before you even got there, bro. Like
Well,
that's
yeah,
why I think
because
it's so cold of a movie.
bro, they did like backstory. You know what I'm saying? Like they did shit with like where Stack had been fucking with that girl, and you know what I'm saying, he had left her wherever the fuck he left her at and shit. And they did that romantic subplot. They did some shit where like Smoke was with that lady and they baby died and shit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And then they did some shit where like Preacher Boy Daddy, you know, was like overbearing and religious and all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? They did like the backstory about that old man where his partner got like set up by whoever the fuck that was, and like the clan killed him and shit. Like
You know.
they did a lot of cold shit in this hole before they ever got anywhere. But
They
I
could have literally left out the vampire shit and all the like they should have had that
mhm.
shit as a reveal, and that shit would have. I feel like it would have been an even crazier movie than what it
Why
is
you don't
now.
watch trailers, bro?
Well, I didn't watch it, bro. A stupid ass bitch ass nigga named Cody Leach kept. I think it's a vampire movie. I think it's a vampire movie. Like, bitch, shut up, nigga.
I
I
would
didn't
have
even.
slapped the shit out of him, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like,
That nigga, a big ass nigga, low key. I ain't gonna smack that nigga.
but hey, Pools, why Smoke shot them dudes out the side of the truck like that, man?
Touching this car.
That's, that motherfucker, he shot one of them in the ass. He shot the other dude through his leg and shit.
I mean, hey man, he stood on business. You feel me?
He
He,
said that shit.
you heard what
He
he
said
said,
you
man.
can't
There's
let
no way you gonna
nobody,
run up on
yeah,
smoke
act
and then
say that nothing
live.
happened to him.
Yeah,
Facts.
he stood on business, for real.
Oh, that shit funny as a bitch, bro. Buddy was over there standing there and he shot it. He said, "Why the fuck you do that?" Like
Yeah. That scene
pissed.
was dope. There was another scene I wanted to highlight. It was when when it was like the morning, it was towards the end, after like all the vampires, died due to the sunlight and whatnot. Smoke ended up taking off his charm and whatnot, right? The same charm that was given to him as like a form of, like, I guess,
Protection.
spiritual protection and whatnot. And like he really took that off because, like, when you look at things right at that moment, like he really led all those people to, unfortunately, a horrible fate. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I saw that as, he took that shit off as, oh man, I don't deserve to have this on me.
I mean,
So
low key, if you look at it like that too, you know what I'm saying? Like that some bad shit happened to him after that. So like maybe that shit really was protecting him and shit. You know, one thing that I can't take credit for that I saw on Twitter, but I thought that was, you know, like an interesting detail too, is that like after all that shit happens, you know, he's sitting on that trunk trying to, like, you know, his hands are shaky and he can't roll that fucking cigarette. Like Smoke can't roll his own cigarettes, you know, at any point in time. Stack always had them hoes for him and shit. And
oh
now that,
yeah.
like, you know, he's gone, that's a representation of, like, you know, something that he's lost, you know what I'm saying? Something small and seemingly insignificant, but that affected his life in such a way that, like, now he has to constantly remember that. So I think that's pretty clean. I mean, like
Hey,
I said, we've gone through like a lot of scenes. I think that some important things to talk about here. are like the nuance of these characters, bro.
Mhm.
Fireworks, did you have a point you wanted to make first?
Yeah, yeah. Well, two things. One, I know Pujols didn't stay for the mid
The
credit,
post credit, yep.
mid
I
credit
had
and
a
post
bitch
credit, right?
tell me what happened, so it's all good.
For sure, for sure.
You should
So
have seen that hoe, bro. That hoe was kind of crazy.
the mid credit scene, when the Stack and I forgot Shorty's name, but when they, they're in present day clothing and whatnot, and they meet up with Preacher's son at the bar or whatever, right? And
Preacher
then they
boy,
have that
bro. Come on, get it
Preacher
right.
boy, whatever.
That's
Anyways,
Sammy.
that speech that exchange that they had, and then after that, where he was like, "Oh, for one night, I felt like I was free." That was powerful to me. That was crazy.
Oh, he
Well,
That
said
was
that shit at the end in
I
the
was about to
credits.
say, yeah. So like the whole like the movie, a subtle underlying theme of the movie is about like racism and whatnot. Like people are like speculating that the idea is that like the vampires represent how even whenever they touched down there and like felt free, Black Americans were still under attack and whatnot,
mm,
from these monsters and whatnot. And so I think that's like a good allegorical message to portray there. I think that that's done well.
What about music being basically the devil?
Yeah, I mean some music, yeah, probably.
well,
I'm
more,
kind of
more,
confused with
more,
that shit though. Like, cause
more,
okay, the
more
nigga came
specifically,
there. The nigga came there because he wanted to make Preacher Boy a vampire to play with him and like just to have his music style and all that shit. But I mean, once he beat the nigga, pause. The nigga just kept the guitar. Like, so is music bad? Is music good? Like, what is the underlining thing? I don't get it. I
I
get it,
think
but I
that
don't
it,
get
it
it.
was about like he, had to make his decision and shit. His daddy kept yelling at him, put that guitar down, put the guitar down, such and such. And he had already like told him, like before at the start of the movie, he was like, I'm not gonna be stuck here doing this church shit on this plantation with you. I'm finna go out here, and do what the thing that I'm passionate about. So he made his choice and he went out into the world and he did like that devilish route, I guess, whatever. He is the sinner, so like maybe the music might be the evil choice, but he made his choice. You know what I'm saying? He would rather live in a life of sin as a free man than live righteous but chained down.
Yeah,
And
I don't blame him though. I feel it same way. Shit.
but like and then like a part of that post credit scene too, like I think the important part too, he was like, that was the until all the shit hit the fan, that was the greatest night of my life. Do you feel the same? And Stack was like, yeah, I think about that shit a lot. He was like, that's the last time I got to see a sun, see the sun. It's the last time I got to see my brother. You know what I'm saying? All this shit, like it really, they've lived a long period of time and ain't aged at all and probably did a whole bunch of crazy shit, but he's like, these are the things that's important to me, you feel me? And like this is how this is what I wish I could have back.
I
So that
can't.
nigga smoke. Did Smoke die?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
about to ask that. He died
yes,
after that
Smoke.
night, right?
Yes, Smoke. Like he was fighting the KKK and shit, and he like
He got
he
hit
didn't
one
even have to
time.
die, bro. He didn't even have to like. He got shot like because of some dumbass shit.
I
He
don't think he
ran up.
died, bro.
He definitely died, bro. He was hallucinating, holding that baby, like seeing that the woman that died and shit, and he was going to meet them. That was what was implied there.
That nigga
Oh,
got a stomach graze. Like he ain't even get hit that. Like,
No,
come
but
on,
they
man.
kept like pumping blood out that hole, and he's like sitting on the ground, like he's fucked up and whatnot. I saw it too. I was like, that's not gonna kill nobody. But this was clearly what they was trying to fucking show us and shit. You
I
know,
guess you
I
think they're
I
gonna try
think
to
it's
set up a
ass.
sequel or nah?
I get why they did it. I think it's ass, but it is what it is. I don't think they have to have no sequel, bro. For real.
Yeah, they low key could just let this whole rock out.
Like I
I
think
might
that
go see it again tomorrow.
they did the post credit thing, where like they zoomed forward to the future. Fireworks. What was the other scene?
The other scene was preacher boy. He was inside his father's church, and he was playing with his instrument. He was playing a rendition of "This Little Light of Mine," and then it fades off with him looking at the screen.
Hmm. I
Yeah,
didn't stay for the
it
second
was
one
dope.
because like I looked online, like after I had seen it and it said there was only one. They were like, well, there are two scenes, but they were counting like the first one being like him, like at the end of the movie and shit. So I was like, okay, maybe it's mid credit and post credit, whatever. So I didn't stay for the second one, but that's
Yeah,
pretty
so
dope.
I think the second scene was supposed to display that that because it was addressed early in the film when he went to go leave the church the first time when his pops was like, "Oh, you about to go out with your cousins again or whatever," right?
Hmm.
I think that scene was supposed to display that he was practicing that instrument, you feel me? That he was putting in work, learning how to play it and sing on his
Yeah.
own free time, you feel me? That's what that scene what I think was supposed to display. But yeah, yeah, pretty much. It was
I
like,
But
yeah.
the thing that I thought of too, like I don't have many negative critiques about this movie. One thing that there was, I think that a lot of the special effects looked really good on this stuff. There was a
Agreed.
few that I
Highly
thought were
agree.
kind of shitty. Like whenever they was in the final fight or whatever, and the old man he break that bottle and he run up there on stage and like he like dragged
Ass.
that down his arm to cut that shit looked. It didn't even look good. That
Yeah, it
shit
was
looked like
ass.
shit in my opinion. And then like, but I like the final fight was kind of like underwhelming
Ass.
to me. It wasn't ass, but it
You know
was
why
like
it's ass? Because it was 70 fucking vampires against 5 people, and then them niggas should have got wiped out. Why did
I
they
don't
not get
think
wiped
so,
out?
bro. Like I think like some of them folks was
You know
like
how
that.
strong of it. KTL, the bitch just took 8 bullets.
Yeah, but like that's what
A
I'm saying. Like
brand
it's
new
not if you
vampire
know how
just
to
took eight
kill them.
bullets, bro.
It's not if you know how to kill them hoes. Like they gonna eat bullets and
I'm not
shit,
trying to
bro.
hear that shit.
I do think that it's stupid that bro. And yet again, the Asian bitch is the worst character, bro. The door gets open, that bitch runs and stab and like sets herself on fire to stab one motherfucker to death, bro.
Her husband, right?
You bitch, you stupid bitch. I hate this shit, boy.
There's 70 vampires. 5 niggas is not getting out of that.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Smoke was like that. He was on
Five
vampire ass.
nigga, 5 people not getting out of 20 random niggas trying to smoke them. Like it's a vamp. You know how strong a
That's that,
vampire is,
bro.
nigga.
Not it. Come on, bro. If one of them is Kimbo Slice, bro, they making it, bro.
Nah, niggas will beat Kimbo ass. Oh, RP. Niggas will beat Kimbo ass though.
I don't know, bro. But yeah,
You
like
think
I say,
you think
I just
70
don't
niggas
think that
can't
they
beat
did.
Kimbo ass?
I just don't think that they did a whole bunch of cold ass shit in the final fight. Like I was expecting, like all right, you built all of this. We're gonna have like some, cold fight scenes and like fucking, traps and whatever the case is gonna be in this barn. And it was just kind of regular, bro. Like it was a regular fight scene. They did some cool shit. I fucked with it, but like I expected more.
Yeah, I agree.
But like that I think that like it extended so far to the scene where they're like once again wading in the water. There's a metaphor for you. But like I think that shit was cold, like that part right there. Although like that's kind of wild, bro. Buddy was like growing talon fingers and all type of shit, and his ass just got hit in the head with a fucking guitar, bro. That had a whole plate sticking out his shit. You know what I'm saying? And they all got. I don't know how them two survived the sun, bro. They was outside. Like I don't know. Stack might have survived. I am 100% positive. I seen that white bitch out there when the sun came up. It's
Why y'all be calling her white? She don't even look white to me.
Man, that hoe is the whitest bitch that there is.
That hoe don't look white to
That
me.
whole name was Mary or some shit.
Mm,
Well,
that hoe not that white.
according to the film, she was
Yeah,
One
she
eighth
like
was
or
it
some
she
shit.
a fourth or some shit black.
black? Yeah, yeah. So
He
There's
ain't look that white,
That's
bro. I
that
know what a
Barack
white bitch look
Obama
like.
afternoon my octoroon shit, man.
that. Wow.
That's
That
that shit.
Barack Obama,
Yeah,
nigga, a
that,
mook.
remember where they did that Key and Peele shit?
So you
Motherfucker said
telling
one
me
ain't
Obama
black.
not a mook, catch you?
Huh?
Saying Obama not a mook?
No, he got a wife and kids, bro.
Oh, okay. That means something.
I mean, I think so.
Why he ordered them hot dogs, man?
Hey, bro, why Joey Chestnut ordered them hot dogs?
To eat them hoes.
That shit. Hey, I would hope Obama doing the same with them.
Not 1,000 of them.
Hey, bro, he was training for the competition. But yeah, I don't like. There's not much else that I feel like needs to be talked to about beyond this. Like we've gone through a lot of cold scenes. I don't think nobody really turned in a bad performance.
Not one bro. Everybody did great, bro. Like I can't think of nobody who was ass.
Yeah, I think that the premise is interesting. I think they presented vampires as like a really good, like credible threat. Like I feel like low key, I've always felt like vampires were like underrepresented. Like they were kind of represented a little bit lame in like pop media. Like the idea
Yep.
of them sounds cold as fuck, but like I don't think they're presented well in execution often. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like they had some Blade shit. They did Dusk Till Dawn, but like other than that, what I'm saying? What else was
You
like
never
really?
seen True Blood, right?
I mean, yeah, okay, true. So like, but like True Blood and like Vampire Diaries and all that shit like that. That's like I don't feel like that's like as I don't know, and it's gonna sound stupid to me. I feel like there's a demographic that watches that shit, and I'm not that. That's all I'm
Well,
saying.
like, yeah, I mean, it's mooks who watch it a lot, but
And girls, you know what I'm saying? Girls
yeah,
watch some hoes.
I watched it too, but I'm neither one of those. But I didn't watch no Vampire Diaries, but I
Fucking
seen,
Twilight and all that shit.
yeah, that shit is like fucking PG compared to True Blood. True Blood is
Yeah, yeah,
that
they got
movie
active
is
on True Blood.
crazy. Yeah, vampires on there. One vampire would have smoked off everybody in that movie.
I
That's
just
what I'm
think
saying.
that like it's hard to convey like what actually makes them cold and shit. And I don't you know what I'm saying? Like they super strong as a bitch. They can regenerate, you know what I'm saying? They bite motherfuckers and turn them into vampires. Like they got like all type of crazy ass powers and shit, bro. And I just don't know if people like represent that well, but I think it was represented pretty well here. Like I say, a bitch ate 8 bullets and then just like ain't do shit. And they was like, oh, well, fuck, this was the best we had. What the fuck do we do now? And then they like
It's-
killed him with broke off table legs and shit.
That's your ass. I ain't gonna lie. That's ass.
But yeah, I don't think nobody had ass performance. I think that they represented that shit well. And I think that they gave you like a good, what this sounds a lot like my final thoughts, but I think they gave you a good movie outside of this just being a vampire movie. So, does anybody else have anything else they want to discuss about this whole before we final thought and rate it?
No, I think
Crazy.
we covered. I think we covered everything. So,
All right. So, Dub, you want to go first?
yeah, I'll go first. So this was a very interesting movie. I didn't know this was gonna be like a whole vampire setup type thing. I thought some of the underlining messages were powerful and whatnot. You definitely had to dig a little deep for some of those some of those things for sure. I thought that this was a great offering to, in my opinion, a very awful year of movies that we've been having. I went,
Damn.
You
yes,
ain't fuck
yes,
with Hard Eyes, bro.
and I stand on that statement that I just made. By the way, I'm 10 toes down on that one. I went to the movie theater about this year so far. I've been to like about seven, eight, maybe nine showings, and every single one has disappointed me.
Did
Movies that
Deadpool and
were
Wolverine come out this year?
no, it came out
Ah,
last year.
last
Oh,
year.
okay.
Came out last year. But out of all those movies that I went to go watch, these were movies that were like star-studded as well, and like damn near every single one disappointed me this year. This was the one that broke the curse. And I truly do believe this is movie of the year. For it's gonna be movie of the year. You know, for a long for a minute. So shout out Ryan Coogler for his latest offerings to the cinematic universe, or cinematic world or whatever. I thought no one. I agree. No one turned in a bad performance. Everyone was on point in my opinion. Um, some of these actors were definitely unknown. Some were known, but I think everyone shined. And if the world didn't know about this cast, well, they do now. So I definitely expect some of these actors to get a couple calls from big Hollywood and whatnot moving down the line. So shout out to everyone involved in this movie. Shout out to all the actors and whatnot. Um, Bunch of cold scenes. Even the score was dope too. Something that we really didn't like touch much upon in this review. But I was the movie is 2 hours long, 2 hours and some change, and there's something that I forgot to talk about, but the pacing in the movie it was great. It was dope. Normally, that's a constant issue that I'd be having with certain films, but I can't complain about it this time. 2 hours, and it didn't even feel like it was running for 2 hours. So when you master the pacing in a movie, I think it's always going to be a good thing. It's always going to make the watching experience that much more enjoyable, and it also adds a lot more replay value, um, you know, and whatnot. So overall, when I first finished watching the movie, I thought it was a perfect movie. I thought it was a 10 out of 10. I gave it a 10 out of 10. You know, those that follow me on Instagram and whatnot literally said that it was the first 10 out of 10 film of the year. And I'm gonna be honest, I still stand on that statement. I think the movie is a 10 out of 10. Shout out Ryan Coogler. Definitely looking forward to whatever else he decides to bring to the film world. And yeah, man, 10 out of 10. That's my rating, man. Everyone go see Sinners. Support this movie.
All right, who else you want to go? You want me to go?
Well,
Oh, wait. One last thing. My fault, my fault. So mid credit scene, post credit scene. I don't know if there's a sequel coming or if they were just there just to be put there. But if there is a sequel coming, I'm definitely gonna be invested in that. If there isn't, this movie can definitely hold on its own. I think it's a very powerful movie. So yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I echo a lot of the sentiments previously said. I think that this is a beautiful looking movie. I think that the score is great. I think it has a lot of great artistic design choices that I wouldn't have thought of and that I've never seen before. Which nowadays it's very difficult to do some shit that hasn't been seen or thought of before. The acting within the movie is fantastic from everybody, and being that most of these people are not hugely well known actors or actresses, I give them even more credit for that. I was not familiar with Ryan Coogler as a director, but everybody's been saying his name, so this appears to be, a breakout project for him. So good job to him for betting on himself and making a difference, making an impact, having something that can contribute to his legacy. I think that this was a good depiction of vampires within the movie, but as me and Puol said, it is not a movie that was it was it good enough as a movie before this. This is something I said whenever we watched Saw X, is that Saw X I feel like was a really good movie that happened to be based that happened to have jigsaw shit in it. This is a similar situation. This was a great movie that had vampire elements in it. I've seen people liken it and, harken back to Dusk Till Dawn. Obviously, it would be a comparison for it. Some people have said that they prefer that to it. I think that I prefer this. I probably have to rewatch and, re educate myself on how those things work. But I think, like I say, this movie I can't say much bad about it. I don't like the long run time. I've always been one to say that I don't like super long movies. I don't think the pacing was bad necessarily. I went to see it late. I went to see this whole at like 10:30 or whatever. I didn't get back home till like damn near 2. You know what I'm saying? So like
Same
that's
same here, KTL.
part
Same
of
here.
that is my flaw. You know what I'm saying? Like I made that choice, but still, I do feel like it is a bit of a lengthy movie. I don't feel like it is a movie that punishes you for paying attention and like it being so lengthy. But that's one thing, and then the other thing, like I say, I think that the some of like most of the effects looked good. Some of them just looked kind of ass. I would have liked a better final fight, but these are just nitpicks. You know, this is a movie that I think that you could, watch with a bitch. You could rewatch. I would recommend for people to watch. It is. I haven't seen many movies this year. Like unlike fireworks, I went and saw like two, maybe three. They haven't been good, but I just that's the risk you take. I think that I saw a lot of trailers before this movie started that are movies that I want to see. The Accountant 2, Thunderbolts. There's several movies I want to see that I'm expecting to be pretty good. So hopefully this year is about to turn around. But this is a really good. It would be my movie of the year, albeit my fucking experience is limited at the movies this year. Uh, the final thing that I'll say, Michael B. Jordan just continues to stat pad his way up in the ranks of Hollywood. Um, this is a very unique and difficult to duplicate type of performance. So salute to him. I'll probably get fireworks. Did you give a rating for the movie?
Yeah, I said it's a 10 out of 10 in my opinion.
Okay, yeah. I can't. Don't think I can give it a 10, but I can still I might be being a little bit generous, but I'm going to give it a 9.5. It's between a 9 and a 9.5 for me. There are certain things that like detract enough to not have it a perfect score, but these are my critiques and my nitpicks. I don't expect everyone to have the same ones. I feel like this will probably get a lot of 10s. I know it's been doing good online. It got like a 9 point something from the fucking online critics whenever I Googled it and shit. So salute to that, and they're making a lot of money. Uh, I am also okay if I don't see another movie like this. I think that it works perfectly well as a standalone. I don't think that the post credit scene set up for anything else other than giving some extra like additions to the story. By the way, I think that it's very good to have something like this that is an allegory for uh, racial history and cultural heritage. I think that that's a good thing. But at this point, I'm just rambling. Go ahead, Pools.
Yeah, man, y'all said a lot, fucking lot, actually. The movie was pretty good, man. I seen the ratings and shit before I even went to go watch it. I didn't think it was gonna be this good. Like Fireworks said, a lot of movies been asked this year. This this was the best one. The only one that was close to it was Companion. But yeah, this even Smoke Companion. Well, Smoke don't. Yeah, fuck it. I don't know. This was better than Companion, but as far as Wolfman and Hard and all that other shit, this bodied all that shit. So good movie. I'm not really a Michael B. Jordan nigga, but nigga went crazy in this. He, he went crazy in Creed too, so I guess I get it. I get what everybody talking about. Couldn't tell it's the same nigga playing two twins. It legit felt like two different people playing two different characters. That shit speak volumes. Preacher Boy, he went crazy, especially for this being his first film. The nigga really was singing and shit, playing like that. Nigga went crazy. Who else? The dark skinned lady, one of the most important characters in the movie. She played her part very well. Mm. Another thing he did was like you see her appearance, dark skin, bigger woman. You don't really see sex scenes with women that look like that a lot. I appreciated that he put someone her features in a movie like having a sex scene and playing a major part. It's always like a model looking bit like you would think the light skinned lady or the white lady, whatever you want to call it, you would think she would be the one to get the only sex scene, but nah, they flipped it. They gave them both one, but they gave the dark skinned lady the more impactful one, like the one that meant the most. Like, yeah, the light skinned lady had one that she bit dude, but that just was to get him to become a vampire. The dark skinned one lady, she like left a mark on people. People left the theaters talking about that. I get on Twitter, I see people talking about that scene every day. So that shit was impactful as well. That shit was dope too. Like she went crazy. Uh Nigga from 8 Mile, he did his thing. He was ass, but he did his thing. Everybody went crazy. I don't think it's one character that lacked in acting. Like everybody was amazing. Few pop holes, like you're gonna know if a nigga is bleeding out or if it's fucking beer spilled. At least I would know. It'd be bubbles, all kinds of shit if it's beer. Like it was ass. The lady saying y'all niggas just come in here and come fight us. It was ass. A 70 versus 5. 70 fucking powerful vampires versus 5 people is ass. But I let them make it just because everything else about the movie was so fire. So no rating is a 9. Could really go lower. I could really go higher, but I'm gonna just leave it at a 9. Everything was so well done. I'm gonna just say 9. Had some ass shit, but I'm gonna let them make it. That's a big 9. Salute the sinners.
Well, that sounds like a 9.5. So that's a really good score. Y'all go fuck with go see Sinners in theaters if you haven't already. I'm a big proponent of bootlegging movies. But in a case like this, I think that it's good to show support with your wallet, where
Yeah,
it's not gonna break the bank for you. But a motherfucker really, like I say, I've said it so many times here, but it's really just important that people are able to, stand against the big studios and all this shit and do their own shit if they believe that they have a vision and can be successful with it. These types of things keep the industry open and honest to where now it sets a precedent for something, moving forward that like this type of thing can happen. Maybe we'll get other projects like this that studios didn't want to green light but might go crazy. So salute to that, man. Salute to them. Anybody have anything final to say before we leave?
Yeah, don't ever if for the viewers at home, don't ever watch Wolfman. That shit was fucking ass.
yeah, that shit was ass.
That shit was so
Hey,
fucking
while we're
ass. And
talking
that
about it,
that director
also,
should be ashamed of himself. All right, go ahead.
yeah, no, that's a fact. Also, while we're on the topic, don't ever go fucking watch Sisu either. That shit
Nah,
sucked.
that's cap.
Right,
That's
that
cap.
shit was
Nah,
garbage. They making
nah.
a second one, and that's fucking ass. Uh,
I
you know,
can't co-sign that statement. Cecil was great, man.
that shit sucked,
Your
man.
movie. Go
But yeah. So we'll be back with more movies. We're still doing Final Destination. Y'all go watch Final Destination 4 recap if you haven't already.
Don't watch
Um,
Wolfman though, for real. That's us.
Yeah, for real. My God.
or
My
Hard
God.
Eyes. Hard Eyes was ass too.
It wasn't that bad actually.
It
I
it
would have
wasn't
to
that
Nah,
bad.
rewatch
It
that.
wasn't that bad. I actually enjoy
that
Hard Eyes. That
shit
was
I did
sucked.
too.
that that
It
was one of the
wasn't
few
just
movies that
horrible,
I
but
actually
that
enjoyed.
shit wasn't good.
You ain't seen Wolfman, bro. Go watch Wolfman, then watch
Oh,
Hard
I'm
Eyes, and
good,
you'll
bro. I'm
see the
not
difference.
watching Wolfman. I'm not watching Companion. I'm not
You
watching.
sleep.
Not
You
watching
sleep.
none of that
I,
shit, bro.
Better
hey,
go check the
I,
ratings on
I'm not
Companion,
watching
boy.
Smile
I have not
4
watched
or
Companion.
Smile
whichever
2 is
Smile
crazy.
movie they're on, bro. Like I'm good.
That nigga
Straight,
don't want to
bro.
see good shit. That's crazy.
I'm
What the
good,
fuck
bro.
wrong with him?
I don't want to see no shit that you think is good, man.
No, but I'm hyped
That's
for the second
fine.
half of this year though. They got some. It looks like it. Well, hopefully, God willing, they got some. Some pretty heavy hitters coming up. movie
Companion
wise.
on HBO Max. I might watch that bitch right now. Like that shit is fire.
Watch it with a bitch,
That's
bro.
the one, bro.
I'm gonna watch that
Well,
shit, Pools. I have not
it
watched
ain't the.
Companion yet.
I ain't gonna lie. It ain't the one no more. Cause Sinners came out, but that hoe was the one for like fucking 4 months.
Interesting.
Yeah, that shit. So all right, man. Y'all keep watching the shit. Keep running it up. We out this bitch, man.
Peace.